Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing my favorite specs to play in the War Within at the moment. This gets asked all the time on stream and on videos, and I'm going to do a video on it. The clips you're about to see and me talking about are pretty much from videos slash streams slash future videos, so do keep that in mind when you see these clips. Also, do keep in mind everybody's opinion on fun is different. If you don't see your spec that you're interested in on this list, don't get discouraged. It's just maybe because I might not find it fun, but you might find it fun. So I just want to quick get those disclaimers out of the way, and let's dive right into the video. Alright guys, first up is my Balance Druid. Balance Druid has been pretty much my main for almost every expansion now, and it's not really much different in this expansion. I really love Boomkin. I have played it. I'm probably going to continue playing it for the rest of my WoW life. But yeah, it is a lot of fun. I recommend playing Balance Druid if you're a huge Battleground fan like me. Balance Druid has always, and I mean always, been known as one of the greatest Battleground specs in the game. If you're a huge Battleground fan like me and constantly love playing Balanced Druid, you will, I love Balanced Druid. If you love playing Battlegrounds like I do and just thrive on playing Battlegrounds all the time, you will love Balanced Druid. The cons for Balanced Druid are that it's not amazing in 1v1s, so do keep that in mind, and they do feel a lot more squishy this expansion compared to what they did in Dragonflight, so I just want to get those cons out of the way. But for the pros, they are an extremely strong CC class, especially if you want to disrupt healers for your team. You can root beam somebody on a set focus macro, and then if they trinket that, you can just Cyclone. Or you can do a Cyclone, and then they trinket that, and then you root beam them after, and then the healer just has to eat that full thing, where your DPS team just mows down everything else in sight. If you can just instant Cyclone after the root beam as well if they got a trinket after your first Cyclone. So there's Balanced Druid has insanely powerful CC. Highly recommend playing some if you like CCing targets and all that. They have really strong CC. They have really good mobility. Druids have really insane mobility. If you don't like being sheep, you'll never be sheeped ever. If you like playing mobility classes and don't like being constantly slowed like on some other specs, then a Balanced Druid will be for you. They have some really high single target burst damage, so if you're into something with crazy burst, you'll definitely love Balanced Druid. Balanced Druid has some of the best AoE in the game, so if you like AoE, you're good with that too. And that's pretty much Balanced Druid. And they also hit huge numbers with Full Moon if you're into that type of build as well. But that's pretty much all I could say about Balanced Druid. I could probably keep going on, but highly recommend playing Balanced Druid. It's been my main for a long time. Never have regretted it once. And yeah, like I said, if you're a huge Battleground fan and you like hearing everything I explained to you, give Balanced Druid a try. Alright, and now up next is Feral Druid. Feral Druid has been my go-to this expansion. As much as I love Boomkin, I actually did end up carrying Feral this season. I did play Boomy last season. I'm still playing Boomy this season, obviously, and I still love it. But I've been enjoying Feral Druid a lot. I highly recommend, if you have not played Feral, give it a try. Just saying this ahead of time, if you're into a class that's more difficult to master, then you'll probably like Feral Druid. Feral Druid is one of the harder specs to play in the game for a lot of people, so do keep that in mind when you play it. The pros, you'll never be sheep, similar to Balanced Druid. Feral Druid is one of the best 1v1 specs in the game, and they also are they're one of the two specs in the game that can handle rogues, because rogues just got their Cloak of Shadows PvP talents nerf, so bleeds actually get them out of stealth now, because rogues are a gigantic pain in the frickin' behind. So if you hate rogues like I do, you'll love Feral, because they're so good against rogues now, thanks to the Cloak of Shadows not removing bleeds anymore. So there's that. If you're into watching people die to bleeds, like what I love to do is I open up with burst on the target, and then I use my incarnation or into prowl and watch them die, or just watch them die after I shadow mode. But not everybody plays Night Elf, but you can use incarnation and prowl after you get a fully dog on somebody quick enough, and then you can watch them die to bleeds. It's absolutely hilarious. So I love doing that. So that's another pro to playing Feral. They are also extremely mobile, especially compared to, I feel like Feral, it's not really any different, but I feel like I'm sometimes more mobile on my Feral than my Boomy. but that's probably because I'm obviously in cat form most of the time compared to Boomy. But yeah. Also, they similar to Boomy, they have very strong CC because you can keep using Maim quite often, so people get bursted. And yeah, that's pretty much mostly it for Feral. So if any of that sounds good to you, then give Feral a try. Just to summarize it up, they are one of the best 1v1 specs in the game. So if you are into classes that can 1v1, or specs, I should say, that are really, really good at 1v1, super powerful, then play Feral. If you're into a class that's really good at for solo, play Feral. If you want a difficult class to play Feral. If you want a spec that does decent self-healing, Feral's good at that too. Feral survivability is actually better this expansion than it was last time. And yeah, so if all of that sounds good to you, give Feral a try. Alright, up next is Devastation Evoker, and this is one I highly, highly recommend also trying out if you guys have not tried it. I know a lot of people hate playing Evoker because of the whole Drakthir thing, but if you can get past that and just use like a toy or something to override it, highly recommend giving Evoker a try. It is so much fun to play. So here's the pros of playing Evoker this expansion. They have one of the best AoE cleave in the game. You can absolutely roll entire teams. Like, think of it kind of like similar to Death Knight, where if you grip everybody in middle and everybody AoEs at once, and you use a Evoker Deep Breath with everybody stacked like that, most of the time the group just dies. Like, you can single wipe the entire team just having an Evoker on your team because they Deep Breath everybody at once. It's insane. Deep Breath is just absolutely crazy. And on top of that, with hero talent trees this expansion, you can control the way you move with it. And you couldn't do that in the past. So it is so fun to do. I highly recommend even just trying it just for that because it is so much fun. So in fact, Evoker, in my opinion, got the best hero talent tree this expansion. I still stand by that statement. Also, if that's not enough to convince you guys to give this a try, a lot of people hate CC. If you hate being CC'd, and let's be honest, who loves sitting in a CC all the time, then you'll love Evoker because they have a talent that gives them 3 charges of being immune to something. So it doesn't matter what it is. It could be a sheep, a stun, anything, and you'll be immune for 3 charges. So if that sounds really good to you, then you'll love Evoker, like I said, once again. So it is a lot of fun. Highly recommend. Also, as you just saw me use there a second ago, there's a rescue ability, so you can save somebody. It's kind of similar to Leap of Faith for Priest, so that can help out flag carriers as well, or even save yourself. You can do that too. There is a smoke bomb type PvP talent that can kind of hinder your team, but there's also that. And also, I forgot to say there's one more pro thing, in case you guys probably are going to love this one as well. So not only do you become immune to CC with the talent, you can also be immune to kicks as well. So you can pop both at the same time and just practically be immune to practically everything. Because there's a talent that makes you immune to kicks when you use your defensive. So, like I said, Evoker is crazy. It is a lot of fun. If all of what I said does not sound good to you, then I'm sorry. But I will say the only 2 cons to this class, because as much as I want to sell you guys on this class, there is a con or 2 to this class. And the only con is the fact that the 25 yard range can kind of be annoying to deal with. And then the other not the other two thing. The other thing is it's one of the more squishy classes in the game. So I just wanted to point that out. And if you guys like what I said, everything I said to you, give this class a try. Alright guys, up next is Windwalker Monk. Windwalker is something I've been playing since Miss Pandir when it was first came out, and it is a lot of fun. If you're into something that's similar kind of to, what's the best way to compare it? I'm not sure what to really compare it to, but basically if you're into a really, really strong 1v1 class and that has high, insane mobility, that's really good at 1v1s, really good cleave damage this expansion, has the ability to teleport and get out of danger whenever you want. Has some decent CC, some of the highest bursts in the game. If all of that sounds good to you, then Windwalker would be for you. Like I said, it's also got some really insane survivability this expansion as well. So, like I said, if all that sounds good to you, really good at 1v1s, has good self-healing to keep itself alive, can teleport out of danger when necessary, has really good defenses with Karma, Fortifying Brew, Diffuse Magic. It even has somebody called it a mini death grip, and I guess you can kind of consider it like that, but it's a clash, but I wouldn't really consider that. But there's also that. Tiger's Lust to get out of roots, if in case you hate going up against classes with roots. However, saying that, roots can still be Monk's weakness, so do keep that in mind. That's probably the main con to playing Monk. So if you face a Frost Mage, you'll probably hate your life. I'm just going to tell you that right now. But outside of that, Monk is insanely powerful, and a lot of people currently hate facing Monks 1v1 at the moment. But yeah, so if any of that sounds good to you guys, give it a try. Let me know in the comment section if you are gonna give Monk a try. So to summarize it up one more time, Transcendence, like you're seeing in the clip right here, decent self-healing, really powerful defensives, can Tiger's Lust out of roots. Their abilities are really strong, really powerful 1v1 class, has a Mortal Strike. If all that sounds good to you, then give Monk a try. Alright, up next is Destruction Warlock. This has been my favorite Warlock spec out of all 3 Warlock specs. I absolutely love Destruction. I play it all the time. It is a lot of fun. If you're into a spec that is that probably has some of the highest hitting spells in the game with Chaos Bolt, as Chaos Bolts have been hitting, at least according to some people. I'm not currently mastery stacking on my Warlock. I could hit higher if I really wanted to, but I've been running haste. But some people have been saying they've been hitting anywhere between 6 to 8 million Chaos Bolts. Actually, I did hit somebody for 10 million Chaos Bolts, so if you really want to hit something really hard with Chaos Bolts, then play Destro. It is so much fun. I love the burst it can do. The only con to playing Warlock is that it doesn't have a lot of mobility, but between gateways and teleport, as long as you set it up perfectly, you'll be fine. But yeah, Warlocks have some of the best CC in the game with Moral Coil, Fears, and Shadow's Fury. They also are a little bit more tanky than some of the other specs in the game. Not the tankiest in the game, but they're pretty much up there. So it kind of makes up for the no mobility thing. Also, you can double bolt people with Havoc as the spec, so you can hit 2 people at once with insane damage and just knock them both out of the park like they don't even exist anymore. So you can also spell reflect people's abilities back at them, so it's really funny when people just burst you and you reflect it back at them and they take half their own health. It's really funny. So there's that. Health stones can heal for a decent amount, and they also reset during combat this expansion, so it helps out quite a bit. You can see I've been stuck in combat, and my health stone, I used it, and it's still, the cooldown's coming up, so you don't have to wait out of combat. Sometimes you are in a fight for so long, and you will get it up during the fight again, so it helps out quite a bit. So if any of that does sound good to you, play Destro. To summarize it up, has some of the hardest hitting abilities in the game, and you can do it not to 1 but 2 people at once. It is really satisfying. Some of the best CC in the game because they have like 3 or 4 different CCs. Hellstones can reset during combats. Yeah, so if that sounds good to you guys, give it a try. Alright, up next is going to be Affliction Warlock. So, Affliction is my second favorite spec for Warlock. I actually like it a lot. It is basically a rot type spec. So, if you like playing something and just watching teams die to dots, then Affliction will be for you. So, that's pretty much what Affliction is all about. If you are into specs that like rotting things down. Also, Affliction is one of the best healer killer classes in the game, so if you absolutely despise healers with your with a fiery passion and want to make them suffer, then Affliction will probably be for you. As anybody that dispels a unstable Affliction, or if they're even a dwarf, or if they're a demon hunter in reverse magic, they will basically end up killing themselves because unstable Affliction does so much damage to their health. So if that sounds good to you, then give Affliction a try. That's pretty much all there is to it. It's a rotting dot class. It's really strong against healers. It's also extremely powerful this season once they get their 4-set as well. So their 4-set's going to be even more ridiculous. And yeah, so just dot everything up, watch everybody slowly die, and that's pretty much Affliction in a nutshell. Everything else is pretty much exactly similar to Destro. They have a lot of CC, same CC as Destro to be honest. Their defenses are more or less the same, etc. So the only difference is that this Destro just tosses nukes out, and Affliction just pretty much dots everybody off and laughs at them while they slowly die. That's pretty much the main difference. But highly recommend if you like playing rot classes, give Affliction a try, or if you like to kill healers in general, give Affliction a try. Alright, up next is Havoc Demon Hunter. Havoc Demon Hunter has been something I've really enjoyed since it was first created in Legion. It hasn't been my absolute favorite thing this expansion, just because there's one issue I do have with it. But however, saying that, it does have its fun every once in a while, so I do have a soft spot for Demon Hunters, which is why I'm adding it to this list. So, I will say one thing I hate about this later on, but now for the pros. The pros, I'm a huge mobility person, as I'm sure you can see with all the choices I've picked so far. So, Demon Hunter has so much mobility, which is what I love. I love playing mobility classes. I'm sure nobody likes just waddling around. It's not fun, but, I love mobility classes. That's why I like Demon Hunter. And then one huge important thing that I'm sure a lot of PvPers do, because I see it do it all the time, and it's a force of habit, at least for me, is jumping. I constantly jump on all of my characters, no matter what I play, and Demon Hunters have double jump. Double jump is one of the most fun things ever. I kind of wish like every class had it, but that's one of the most selling points for Demon Hunter for me, is the fact that it has a double jump. It's just so fun. And going back to the whole double jump thing, Demon Hunters can do incredible things that no other class can. For example, they can jump up towers in AV. They can do some cool stuff in Isle of the Conquest. They can do some cool stuff in like War Song. I mean, these are just examples, but you guys kind of get my point. They can do so many incredible things with double jump. It's insane that no other class can. They have some of the scariest damage at the moment in the game. I don't think it's any like. It's good, but some of the other specs I listed are more scary, but gotta make it a selling point. What's some other things? They can get in spots no other class can, although I guess that's technically the same thing with double jump, so. I think that's pretty much the pros for Demon Hunter. Now for the con, and the reason why I said what I said at the beginning of Demon Hunter, when I said Demon Hunter. Their defenses were way better in previous expansions. This expansion, I feel like they are pretty easy to kill, at least in my opinion. Some people might disagree with me on that, that's fine. But as somebody who's played Demon Hunter every expansion since it's been out, I think they were better self-sustained previous expansions. Their damage is obviously really strong, as you guys can see throughout this clip. But their defenses are just lacking. Like, I feel like I die a lot, similar to like how I would play Warrior, Demon Hunter and Warrior just feel like classes that rely a lot on healers now. So, well, Warriors could probably do better without healers now, but Warriors historically known to need healers, and I feel like Demon Hunter's now kind of into that. They did prune one of our self-healing abilities this expansion. While it was RNG, it was really helpful. But yeah, so that's my only con for Demon Hunter. If you can get past that, Demon Hunter is a really lot of fun, and that's the reason why I added it to that list, because even though it's a con, there's still more pros to it than cons. But that's my main complaint with Demon Hunter at the moment, is just they feel like they die pretty easy at the moment. So, that's it for Demon Hunter. Alright, up next, and this is going to shock some people. Yep, Rogue. So, I've been playing a lot of Rogue this expansion. This tune is usually mostly just to get my frustrations out on pretty much everybody, because I just, if I'm in a bad mood, I just make other people suffer for the whole freaking rest of the day. So, that's what I use this tune for. But yeah, if you want to play something that is extremely solo-friendly, and just want to go off and make the others miserable, you'll want to play Rogue. So Rogue has pretty much always been the king of 1v1s. It's just, it really is. Like, there's other classes that are very good at 1v1s, like I said before, like Feral Druid, Windwalker Monk, etc. But Rogues have always been notoriously the king of 1v1s. So I'm not big on Subburst or Outlaw, so this is mostly just for Assassin. But Assassin is almost exactly like Feral. The only difference between Assassin and Feral, I feel like, is the fact that Rogues have 2 vanishes and they can be immune to spells, and they have like evasion and all that. And Feral has like mobility, and it has it's like immune to sheeps and has self heals and all that. Although technically Crimson Vial is a heal too, but you guys get my point. But yeah, it's pretty much almost exactly kind of similar to that. So what I like to do is what you, as you guys saw, is I fully died the hunter and I killed the mage, and he just died in the background while I was focusing the mage. So I love to do that to people. It's exactly what I said in the Feral clip, where you just fully dot somebody and then just watch them die as you either switch targets or vanish and just slowly watch them die. So if any of this sounds good to you, then play Assassin Rogue. There's already a million frickin' rogues, so why not add some more? Uh, but yeah, so summarize it up. One of the best 1v1 specs in the game. Extremely solo friendly if you like to play off by yourself and do your own thing. Some of the best defensives in the game. Having an answer for pretty much practically everything. The only thing that's changed is that fact that they are worse against bleeds now because they actually nerfed it. Otherwise, they would have been good at extremely everything, but they are pretty much good at everything else. And yeah, that's my selling point for Assassin Rogue. Alright, up next, and the final one is going to be Frost Mage. So, Frost Mage is a lot of fun. If you are into a spec that wants to make Melee's life miserable, you will love Frost Mage. You will just have permanent slows on everybody. It is so freaking tilting to versus a Frost Mage in general, and especially in Battlegrounds when everybody on your team is slowed. It is crazy. And while this is not Frost Mage specific, Mage in general has one of the most powerful battleground useful utility spell in the game, and that is Ice Wall. Ice Wall, I cannot tell you how many times this ability has either lost me or won me games, either when a mage uses it on the enemy team or I've used it. I've used it in Battleground Blitz countless times and Ninja Capped in front of almost an entire team. So that is how this how powerful this ability is. So you'll pretty much see here, I use a Ice Wall, and I managed to steal a cart in front of all these alliance here. It is just that powerful. So if this sounds good to you, having like I said, Ice Wall is available for Fire and Arcane too, but I'm speaking for Frost. If all of that sounds good to you, having all these permanent slows to make Melee hate their lives, and to pretty much everybody because the slows are everywhere. Ice Wall being a really powerful ability. Frost, unlike Arcane and Fire, get 2 ice blocks, so double defensives. Mage also has incredible healing with their they can heal an ice block, and also alter time, which gives you your health back. And then on top of that, you can cast it on the move with your talent, which a lot of people surprisingly don't know about. Also, you have a knockback. Mage CC in general is actually ridiculous. Also, what's some more stuff that I can sell it for? You have a greater invisibility stealth, so you can sneak up on somebody that way. And like I said, Mage CC, I mean, there's Mage in general just is so extremely powerful. It's never bad. I highly recommend, honestly. Mage and Rogue are like the 2 classes that literally, no matter what, are always good. So if that sounds good to you, give Mage a try. That's going to be it for this video. Some honorable mentions, because I didn't mention them in this video, and I'm not going to go into detail about it, but give Hunter a try, and Frost DK a try, and you can give Shadow Priest a try as well. I didn't add them to the list. I thought about adding Marksman Hunter, but it's fun every once in a while for Marksman, so, but yeah, for some reason I didn't really want to add it in the list. But yeah, honorable mentions, Marksman Hunter. I don't really care for Shadow Priest playstyle that much, but I've been playing it a little bit more this expansion. So that's Red Paladin, honorable mention for that, and Frost BK. Those are the 4 honorable mentions to give a try as well. Anyways, that's it. See you guys later.